Legends, welcome to another tier list, and this time it is gonna be for the best PvP class tier list of September 2025. This is always changing every time that we have new classes. The meta keeps changing, so this is gonna be the time for me and my beautiful chat to actually go and try to discuss what are the classes that are right now at the top. So as a disclaimer, if your class is not at the top, don't worry about it, because as I said, this keeps changing and maybe in 3 months you're gonna be the king of the hill. But there are definitely some rules we're gonna have in mind that we're just gonna judge mainly based on the high legend ranks, because that's like where the meta becomes a bit more defined. Also, we're talking about 3.5 thousand rating. Is usually where the high tier legend is, and also we're gonna have into consideration the lower resonance, mid resonance, and a higher resonance. So guys, let's start it out with the Barbarian. So Barbarian, it is being known for being one of the best classes in the game. We all know. And it is still, in my opinion, a very, very strong tank. Like, I think we can actually not, we cannot disagree on that. But the reality is that, if we had like a patch that the Barbarian was very, very dominating with the immunity to CC at 100% uptime, and then you can also go and control it. Well, now that actually changed because they nerfed the Barbarian. So, a class that used to be S tier, I believe that now, after playing with it, it is still very impactful and it's still probably one of the best tanks, but I feel that it is dropping really, really hard on the meta. And the main reason is you have demon hunters, they are dashing around, so it is super easy to kite. You have another meta class, which is the wizard, that also keeps dashing around and kiting around. Then you also have now the druids, which is also gonna keep kiting around and making you look like a absolutely full. If it still works, yeah, absolutely it still works, but if it is as impactful, I don't think so. So because of that, I think I have to drop my beloved Barbarian from S tier to A tier to most likely A-. After playing it for a long time, this is not the time that the Barbarian, it is outshining. Yes, you can still have your Undying Rage. Yes, you can still have like all of like this good stuff that like with multiple cheat deaths and all these things, but it is not as good. Maybe now with a new update for the CC, now we have like CC bar below our life. Maybe Barbarian can start rising up in the near future, but for now I think that's where it stands, because all these dash classes are very uncomfortable for Barb to play with. Now let's go here into the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter, it is a class that for a very, very, very long time it used to be D tier. Then like the summons build came around, and then we had here the C tier. Okay. We have Arky. Well, is that enough to actually pay to win my vote to put him as S tier? Let's see. Then we had here some adjustments that, we started having these escape terror affixes coming into the game, that the escape now gives you shield. Then the CC immunity pass, they came in and started pushing the Demon Hunter to A tier. Right now, man, with the new chakra, infinite dash with infinite CC immunity, and daily swings, they are absolutely godly. So because of that, right now, and listen, it is a surprise, but I am actually really, really glad that one of the highest skill-based classes in the Diablo Immortal right now, it is actually at the S tier. Many of you guys will say, oh, Indez, but this is only for like the big whales. Well, I still didn't play with the Demon Hunter with this meta, I'm gonna be honest, but from my experience, I always find a way. If you are a good player with even if you are free to play like I am, and if you optimize your account in the best way, you can actually still be competitive. I'm not saying that you're going to be competitive against a maxed out 400,000 account. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like just having your DPS and your damage output be actually meaningful. So even if you are lower resonance or mid resonance is still gonna perform. If there are definitely other builds that you can play, yes, you can play with the summons, maybe not as impactful, but I still think that the Demon Hunter definitely deserves the S tier for being so dominated. Now let's talk about here the Wizard. The Wizard, it is a class that has been on the rise for a while, as we know, right? And because of that, I will say that most likely we actually gonna need to shake things up a bit. And the Wizard right now still has the knockback. It still has the infinite CC chain. It still has the lightning, you know, Nova's proccing with itself, even though it was a bit nerfed. But it is still a class that is still performs really, really well, in my opinion. And because of that, I will probably put this as A+. And the reason why I'm putting this as A+, it is because I believe that right now, the Wizard, it is struggling really hard to actually go and try to counter the Demon Hunter, which is probably, in my opinion, the biggest carry. Then you also have the new meta with the Druid being around, which actually is very hard for them to control. But besides that, if there was not these two classes being so dominated in the meta, most likely we probably could still put the Wizard in the S tier, but compared to the other classes, which they are like, you know, just stronger overall, I will put right now the Wizard as A+. Now let's go here with the Necromancer. The Necromancer is being around the block for a while. It is a class that it feels like it can never be bad. They always find a way to stay like relevant in the meta. Right now there is a build that has been around for a couple of months, that you have the green sight around you, you have like multiple dots, and these dots gonna do a lot of damage, and you have like your skeleton mages that they are just like, you know, they are just like doing a lot of damage while you are roaming around with your raid form. So it is very annoying to play against, and it still works pretty well. Is it enough actually with this new meta where there's like so many shields? So you need to have in mind, like, whenever you're playing a dot build, usually if you're playing against a meta that has a lot of shields, it doesn't work or perform as well as it did in the past. So I will say that right now, probably I will have to put the Necromancer as a solid A tier. It is still a class that right now it's like it's harder to actually go and carry games, but you're still like a very good sub carry and annoying. So for that, A tier for sure. It is still very solid, but I don't think it's competing very well in the current meta. Now we have here the Tempest. The Tempest, a class that whenever came into the game, it was the absolute... Bro, it was... Listen, Tempest was even outside of the screen, okay? It was so high that it was even outside of the screen. There was like no tier that could justify the Tempest. Then it kept getting nerfed, and kept getting nerfed. And in the meantime, other classes, they keep getting better, right? Like we have all these other classes that over the patch they keep getting better, while, you know, we have the Tempest quite hard stuck in the coral meta, or just the vortex, you know, meta with the water bananas, or the, you know, all these variants that people like to play, but it is still playing the same old meta. And I believe that right now, Tempest, it is probably one of the classes that it is not doing that well in PvP. Like, they are still okay-ish, but I never feel threatened. I honestly tell you, I never feel threatened whenever it comes to fight a Tempest. Most of the times, I also have immunity to CC, so the Vortex doesn't really perform that well. And because of that, I will probably put the Tempest as below the Barbarian. I think right now, Tempest is just mid. It's just okay. If you still like to play with the Tempest, you can play it, but there is so many other good classes if you really want to carry the game. Like, you can play the Demon Hunter, you can even play the Wizard, or you can like play maybe the Druid, right? There is right now no specific reason of why you should actually play with the Tempest in PvP. And because of that, I will have to put it as a B tier. I still think that, you know, our boy Barbarian still performs better. So let's go here into the next one, and this might be very surprising to you guys. This might be one of the biggest surprise here. We have the Druid. So the Druid itself, whenever it came into the game, it is a class that, you know, like the Bear did quite decently well, but the Bear has a huge problem in my opinion. It's like really easy to CC. You don't really have any escape. You don't have like CC immunity. So because of that, I will say that, you know, it didn't perform as well as I thought. I didn't thought it was bad, the bear, okay? I just thought it was underwhelming. And I feel like whenever the Druid came into the game, I think that the general sense was that the Druid was quite underwhelming. But now we have new Ancestors. And now it feels like we have what it probably is. One of the best classes that I ever seen in PvP, even has low res. Literally, the werewolf build has everything. It has the mobility, it has the shields, it has the damage, it has the survivability, it has the immunity, it has the vulnerability, it has... What else? What else it has? Oh, it has fear, it has knockups, it has everything. It has like... Literally, this Druid build, it has everything. Even low resonance, playing at the high legend tier, I am still at the top. I mean, I still like, I'm there in the top 3 while playing with other whales, which is absolutely fantastic. So because of that, I gotta say that the Druid, it is absolutely S tier. Absolutely S tier compared to any other. I will say that probably is even better than the Demon Hunter at this stage. But because I didn't play with the Demon Hunter yet, I still have to see. But I will probably say that, you know, Demon Hunter and the Druid right now are definitely the top dogs up there. Now let's go here into the Monk. The Monk right now, the only issue that the Monk has is like, it is very stuck to the Explosive Palm build. It is a build that, you know, they're gonna dash on you and do a lot of damage. So in the single target, it works pretty well. It was one of the classes that was like, heavily dominant on the Bounds of Realms, and because the fact that it was the Tower War, the map, and the Tower War map, he has like all those towers, so he has like multiple lanes, so it is a very, very big map, which allowed to have a lot of scenarios of like 1v1, 2v1, 3v2, you know, very like short amount of members playing in the same area. So because of that, the Monk, with the mobility he has and the 1v1 potential, he actually was performing really well. But this we're talking about mainly in the Battlegrounds, and in the Battlegrounds things work a bit different because it is all about mainly the idol, to push the idol, and a lot of times you have like everyone like just fighting in the idol. But does this mean that the Monk, it is bad? No, absolutely not. It is still a very annoying class to play, and if you played well and you played in the backline, you can actually have, you know, very good results. But is it better than the Wizard? I don't think so. Is it better than the Druid? No, I don't think so. Is it same type of impact as the Necromancer? Probably. Probably they are almost the same impact as the Monk. Obviously, this will depend on your account. And here we are having, you know, the two extremes. Obviously, if you have like a Mega Whale account, a Monk, yeah, it can actually perform like really well. But can you carry the game as well as like a Druid or a Demon Hunter? Probably not, but obviously that depends. But if you're talking about more like the lower resonance, you definitely, you know, will not perform at the S tier, and because of that, it is justified to put here for the Battlegrounds the Monk as A tier. So let's go here into the Crusader. The Crusader right now, it is a class that is in a tough position. It is a class that, you know, he has like two metas. So one, it is the Shield Glare meta that has been around for a long time, that you have all those circles and they do a lot of damage, and they can just like pretty much, if you are a whale, you can still like run into the idol and do a lot of damage and be like very impactful. Or now you have the new Pikachu build, right? The Pikachu build, which is whenever you are gonna do some damage into the target, then you're gonna have your condemned chest piece dropping those lightning bolts. You're also gonna be able to use the Feast of Heavens and drop the lightnings and almost be able to, you know, 1, 2, or 3 shots the players, depends on, you know, the stats that you're facing. But the major issue that I have whenever I am playing the Crusader, it is the crowd control, the lack of mobility. It's like, if I'm playing the Shield Glare, most of the times that I dive into the idol, I'm not coming back. It's like a one-man mission. you go, you're like kamikaze, and you know that you're gonna pop your bubble, and after your bubble, most likely, or you kill them, or you're gonna die. So that's when I realized that, you know, like I made like this other build that we've been playing around, and because you can play a bit more into the backline, like idle and backline, I kinda was actually able to perform much better as a low resonance because of that. But I will say that if for me in the past, because of the shield glare, I would have put it like maybe Crusader as a B+. I will say that now with these new Feast of Heavens, or even the shield glare, depends on the level of your account, I have to bump the Crusader up. I think the Crusader right now, it is still very, very good to play. I think the Crusader, it is always impactful. And the bubble is still like super annoying, and they can push still very well. So I am thinking like in the context of the Battleground, I think I'd rather have on my team a Crusader rather than a Monk or a Necromancer. I think because of the utility that they still bring and the damage, even though I hate to play it, I probably will still think that if I want to have one tank on my team, probably the tank that I'll choose right now would have been the Crusader. If one day they actually fix the mobility and the CC, I think they probably gonna dominate the meta. They're gonna be at S tier, but at this stage, okay, so now this actually, wait, we are here on the pickle, because if we put Crusader as the A+, and the Wizard as A+, I think is a, I think it is still fair. I think it is still fair, because they have like different roles, right? One, it is frontliner, and this other one, like it just goes to the idol, and this other one is more like assassin. Yeah, I think this is fair. What do you guys think, chat? I will keep it like to Crusader there. I think it is still a good class to play. So let's go here into the Blood Knight, guys. The Blood Knight, it is a class that in the past patches, I think that people have been sleeping on it. I absolutely tell you guys that they have been sleeping on it. The Abomination, goddamn, man, the Abomination build, it is the absolutely best tank in the game. It is not even close. With this being said, you need to have higher stats. If you are low resonance or even like lower stats, you can try to be as tanky as you want, but you're not gonna be able to tank as well as like these mega whales. And that's like the only problem and the only issue. Like when it comes to the Blood Knight, it is so heavily dependent on sub stats. It is crazily, it is like it needs so many. It needs like the 4 out of 4 Abomination. It needs also, for example, the Endure Evasion sets. It needs also, like, it needs a bunch of them to actually make it work. But whenever you go online and you have your barrier sets and you have your defensive gems, you become an absolutely powerhouse. But most people, they don't have their accounts built that way. They don't build tank, so it doesn't perform as well. I will say that most likely we gotta put here, man, I will say, listen, whenever I face a Blood Knight, it feels like the only class that they literally can sit on the idol and tank everything. It's just like they sit on the idol and they have like these massive shields and you cannot do anything. Guys, I think I'll have to put it as a S here, because I never saw like a tank without Undying Rage being so dominant. We're just talking about tanking. I'm not talking about any other build. I'm not talking about the Infinite Dash. I'm not talking about summons. I'm not talking about the Infinite. I'm talking like about the meta Abomination build right now. Whenever they put their ass and they sit on the idol, it is so hard to actually kill them. Because of that, and I actually cannot believe this, that we are actually putting Blood Knight as S tier as a tank. Boys, what do you guys think about this? Please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about like this tier list. I also want to thank my beautiful chat for actually assist me as well as always. And with this, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, if you're you know, your class is not at the tippy top, don't worry about it. Maybe in a few months the meta will change. It keep changing. This is my opinion, and also with the help of the chat. So guys, don't forget to drop the like, subscribe, and type cheese in the comments. So guys, I know you guys are the legends. Keep carrying the channel and go watch the next video. Peace.